Bandai Visual Company, Limited, is a Japanese anime, film production and distribution enterprise, established by Bandai Company, Limited and a subsidiary of Bandai Namco Holdings, Incorporated, which is based in Minato, Tokyo, Japan. Since the reorganization of Bandai Namco Holdings in 2006, Bandai Visual now heads the group's visual and music content strategic business unit. Its subsidiaries include the Emotion Music Company, Limited and Lantis Company, Limited music publishing labels. Until 2012, it was involved in the production and distribution of several anime titles, including those it has directly produced itself and anime series produced by the anime studio Sunrise, a subsidiary of Bandai. History: Bandai Visual is currently a fully owned subsidiary of Bandai Namco Holdings. Bandai Namco announced on November 8, 2007 that it would buy the voting shares it did not own between that date and December 10, 2007 and turn the company into a wholly owned subsidiary. On December 18, 2007, Bandai Namco announced that it owned 93.63% of Bandai Visual's shares since the end of November. The remaining shares were delisted from the Tokyo Stock Exchange on February 15, 2008 after Bandai Namco acquired the remaining 10% of the shares. Subsidiaries Bandai Entertainment Bandai Entertainment is a defunct subsidiary of Bandai America, founded in 1998. Their first releases were under the AnimeVillage.com label up until 1999 when Bandai Entertainment started releasing its titles. Despite its name, it was not directly established by Bandai Visual. Originally separate from Bandai Visual USA, Namco Holdings announced that Bandai Entertainment would absorb Bandai Visual USA in 2008. Headquartered in Cypress, California, it licensed anime properties from various Japanese companies for North American distribution. Most of those licenses coming from Bandai and its sister company Sunrise. The company also licensed manga series for release with English translation, and published American-made graphic novels. As with many North American anime distributors, Bandai Entertainment offered a fan support program to facilitate public screenings of licensed content at anime clubs and anime conventions. The company confirmed on January 2, 2012 that they would stop offering new DVD, Blu-ray disc and manga releases by February, but would continue to produce their current library of content. Bandai Entertainment was restructured to focus on licensing anime to other companies. On August 30, 2012, Bandai Entertainment announced that it will discontinue distributing their home video and print catalog on March 1, 2013. They made their final shipment to retailers on November 30, 2012. Many former Bandai Entertainment titles have been relicensed by companies like Funimation Entertainment, Discotek Media, Nozomi Entertainment and Sentai Filmworks. Bees Entertainment was the European branch of Bandai Entertainment that also distributed anime and music and were also owned by Bandai Namco Holdings. The name is an acronym for Bandai Entertainment European Zone. Following the discontinuation of Bandai Entertainment, Bees has also stopped releasing anime in the European market. Their anime releases were licensed in North America by Bandai Entertainment and Bandai Visual USA. Bandai Visual USA Bandai Visual USA was established in 2005 to distribute and market Bandai Visual's productions in North America, and like Bandai Entertainment, Bandai Visual USA's releases were of high quality and were aimed at collectors. Their titles were released under the Hanami's label. Bandai Visual USA's anime products were distributed in North America initially by Image Entertainment and later, Genon Entertainment USA, and in Europe by Bees Entertainment. On May 23, 2008, Bandai Namco Holdings announced that Bandai Visual USA would be merged into Bandai Entertainment. Bandai Visual USA was dissolved on July 1, 2008 and absorbed by Bandai Entertainment. Hanami's was Bandai Visual USA's boutique label that distributed deluxe editions of anime and artsier products. The label's namesake comes from Royal Space Force, the wings of Hanami's. The label was shut down on July 1, 2008 when Bandai Visual USA was absorbed into Bandai Entertainment. The label's releases were distributed by Genon Entertainment USA and Image Entertainment. Bees Entertainment Bees Entertainment was the European branch for Bandai Visual that also distributed anime and music and were also owned by Bandai Namco Holdings. The name is an acronym for Bandai Entertainment European Zone. Following the discontinuation of Bandai Entertainment, Bees has also stopped releasing anime in the European market. Music. In August 2009, Bandai Visual had their first music release on US iTunes with Lantis Sounds. In September 2009, Bandai Visual teamed up with Namco for their periodic release of game sounds to iTunes USA. Headquarters. Bandai Visual's headquarters are in Ebisu, Shibuya, Tokyo. When Bandai Visual was established in August 1983, its headquarters was in Kajimachi, Chiyoda, Tokyo. In December of that year the headquarters moved to Roppongi, Minato, Tokyo, and in June 1984 to another building in Roppongi. In May 1985 the headquarters moved to Shibuya, Tokyo, and in March 1990 to Shinjuku, Tokyo. In August 1991 the headquarters moved to Toita, Tokyo, and in March 1994 to another location in Toita. In September 2004 the headquarters moved to the Shiodome Sumitomo building in Shiodome, Minato, Tokyo. The headquarters moved to the current location in November 2014. References. External links. Bandai Visual website, Bandai Visual at Anime News Network's Encyclopedia.